A fire on the interstate in northern Maine shut down the road for about 2 hours last night. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. Authorities have released the identities of the people involved in that fatal crash in Steuben on Sunday. And millions of dollars going into research on right whales could help protect Maine's lobster industry. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, happy Tuesday afternoon. A small crowd advisory remains posted until 7 p.m. Wednesday evening along the coast, though, because the surf remains active out over the ocean, courtesy of an area low pressure that continues to pass through. But meanwhile, on land, we're looking pretty good out there with some clouds that have been developing. But otherwise, a good amount of sunshine will be common. This will be nice, though, after all the precipitation and wind that we saw just the other day. But meanwhile, though, we'll zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. Not a whole lot going on in our backyard now. A lot of this activity has since moved on to the east. You can see that front right about in there. That brought the precipitation with it, but now we're done with it, and now we're going to be quieting down as we do move forward. But lots of sunshine for us today, maybe a few clouds on the way later on tonight. We'll hold on to some of those clouds as we head towards tomorrow morning as well. Now the winds, you might still notice a little bit of it from time to time, maybe a few gusts up to 15 to 20 miles per hour, but really not too bad. We'll keep the winds going though as we head towards your Wednesday, and that's why we do have the small crowd advisories up, at least until that time, as the ocean will continue to remain active. So for today, we'll say middle 30s, lots of sunshine, and that west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, though, this is kind of what we're looking at, though. Upper 20s, partly cloudy, and that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, we have the upper 30s, partly cloudy, and a little breezy, with that west wind gusting up to about 30 miles per hour at times. So be ready for some gusty winds as that occurs. But your hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, those temperatures in the 30s before the sun sets, winds not too bad. Then, of course, temperatures in the 20s as it gets dark. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. A blown tire caused a fire on the interstate last night. A tractor trailer carrying beer in Island Falls blew a tire at mile marker 277 at about 7 last night. A spokesperson for the Maine State Police says that started a fire in the rear of the trailer. The driver managed to pull the truck over and tried to put out the fire with a fire extinguisher, but was unable to do so. The spokesperson says the fire quickly spread and the trailer became fully engulfed in flames. The driver was able to separate the cab before the fire reached it. The interstate was shut down for about 2 hours. Crews are removing debris in that area, and the state police are asking drivers to use caution. Authorities have now released the identities of the people involved in that fatal crash in Steuben Sunday. A Maine State Police spokesperson says 18-year-old Chase Atwater of Steuben was driving on the Unionville Road about 1:30 Sunday afternoon when his vehicle came over a hill and went airborne. The spokesperson says Atwater lost control and hit a large tree on the passenger side. The passenger, who has been identified as 17-year-old Cole Merchant of Sullivan, died at the scene. Atwater was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. The spokesperson says it does appear that speed was a factor in the crash. There will be a candlelight vigil to honor Cole Merchant and support his family. It is planned for December 17th at 6 p.m. at the gazebo in Sumner Memorial Park in Sullivan. Police are releasing new details about an incident Sunday that ended in the arrest of one person. It happened at a home in Old Town following a situation that required nearby residents to evacuate and had WVII on high alert. According to Old Town Deputy Police Chief Lee Miller, on Sunday around 2:24 p.m., officers responded to a home on Martha's Way for a report of a man in crisis with a firearm. WVII students received an alert around 4 p.m. notifying them that a man with a gun had barricaded himself at the Regency trailer park, advising them to avoid the area. Deputy Chief Miller says after extensive negotiations, police took 20-year-old Rowan Lynch into custody. Police recovered the gun and charged Lynch with aggravated reckless conduct and domestic violence criminal threatening. Lynch is currently being held at the Penobscot County Jail pending his arraignment. Researchers are looking at the Lewiston mass shooter's brain. The state medical examiner's office says it's being done because of Robert Card's time in the military. Mel Meyer explains what the suspect did that could have impacted his brain.
As recently as July, Card went with his reserve unit for annual training in New York. An Army spokesperson now confirms to CBS 13 News during the summers he was a trainer in hand grenades with West Point cadets. Citing unnamed soldiers who worked with Card, the New York Times reports his role could have exposed him to thousands of blasts. How prevalent are head injuries within the U.S. military system?
Well, they're very prevalent. I mean,
Dr. Tom McAllister is with the Indiana University School of Medicine and the CARE Consortium. The group has worked with tens of thousands of college athletes and members of the military, looking at the impact of concussions.
In the past, people viewed mild brain injury as almost a non-event with a uniformly good prognosis. People were expected to recover.
The Maine Medical Examiner's Office says part of Card's brain was given to Boston University's CTE Center. They researched the disorder linked to head trauma.
Folks who go on to be diagnosed with CTE, they often have changes in mood, emotions, and behavioral control.
The Lewiston mass shooting suspect reportedly heard voices that accused him falsely of being a pedophile. Dr. McAllister says right now, diagnosing CTE requires inspecting someone's brain after they die. Experts may soon be able to do that while someone's still alive.
They're not necessarily ready for prime time yet.
A Boston University representative declined to comment, citing a privacy policy. The ME's office says that results may be available in 6 to 8 months.
The Hancock County Sheriff's Office budget is getting a big boost from the county as they continue to face staffing issues. However, there seems to be some contention between the office and the county commissioners. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
The Hancock County Sheriff's Office is receiving a nearly 18% budget increase, from $1.9 million to $2.3 million for the upcoming year, which the county hopes will help as state police pull back their patrol coverage throughout the county.
We used to have a 50-50 agreement, and that agreement is now that we do 2/3 and they do 1/3. Very slim pool of people out there getting into law enforcement and applying for law enforcement. You have to obviously have a competitive wage and benefit package.
The Sheriff's Office says the additional money will primarily be used to increase wages as well as pay for overtime and officer training. Sheriff Kane says more than anything, he needs positions filled.
I did not end up with any new additional personnel in my patrol division or as detectives.
On top of that, he says he is concerned with the state of the Drug Task Force program, which he says is short-staffed due to prior funding cuts.
The budget committee wanted to fund positions in there, but the commissioners cut them. So in this day and age, with the amount of drugs that are on the street, we should have agents down there. We should.
According to the Hancock County Commissioners, there has been no decrease in the level of support for the program, and they remain dedicated to supporting the staffing issues. Commissioner William Clark said in a statement, quote, "For the 2024 budget year, we commissioners have informed the MDEA that if they fund, hire, and train the 4th agent, we will fund the 5th one, provided an officer gets assigned to the task force and is up and fully operational."
We just assure the citizens of Hancock County that we will respond to their complaints in a timely manner, and we will do everything we can with funds that we have.
Grace Blanchard reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Penobscot County Healthcare will be expanding its school-based health centers to 3 Old Town schools on January 24th. Our Doug Banks has the story.
When you have good people who are centered on helping families and kids, that you can't lose.
Thanks to a $700,000 grant from the Health Resources and Services Administration, PCHC will be expanding their school-based health centers to Old Town High School, J.A. Leonard Middle School, and Old Town Elementary School.
The full clinic for Old Town will be located in the elementary school, and then in the middle school and high school, we'll providing mental health only on site.
For middle and high schoolers who seek treatment outside of mental health, transportation will be provided.
Families would bring their student down, or we would work with the school to find transportation for that student.
By January, there will be 6 total clinics in the greater Bangor area.
74% of our utilization at school-based health is for mental health services. One of the biggest misconceptions of a school-based health center is we don't take over primary care for students. We work alongside students and families, primary care physicians.
In 2006, Brewer High School was the first school to have this type of clinic, followed by Bangor High School 2 years ago.
As it expands in the district, and I think certainly Old Town will find the same thing, that it's a resource that is needed and can be really helpful to kids and families.
For more information about the clinic's operations, visit pchc.com. In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Millions of dollars in aid is coming to Maine from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to help improve data and research on endangered North Atlantic right whales. That could help protect Maine's lobster industry from further cuts. Governor Janet Mills and Department of Marine Resources Commissioner Patrick Kelleher made the announcement Monday, saying Maine has received roughly $17,252,000 from NOAA. The money comes from the Consolidated Appropriations Act passed by Congress in December of 2022, which established a fund for states with lobster fisheries. The lack of data on right whale presence and effort fishing in the Gulf of Maine means current models are rife with uncertainty. Those models are used by the federal government to determine the risk of serious injury and mortality to right whales by lobster gear. This funding will allow DMR to expand research and improve the assessment of the risk to right whales posed by fixed gear fisheries in advance of future federal rulemaking. The Bangor Police Department has made it easier for people to get in touch with them with the launch of their new app. People can now submit anonymous tips along with pictures and video. After submitting a tip, people can chat anonymously with an officer to share additional details. Sergeant Jason McCampley says this will allow the department to share important information with officers in real time.
Well, these anonymous tips that come in can be extremely advantageous for us. We can get a little bit more information and we can get it out there very, very quickly to the officers who are responding.
You can find the app by searching Bangor Police Department in the App Store or on Google Play. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, lawmakers are considering a bill that would help keep your personal information private. We've got the details when we return.
With AAA insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 866-460-1310 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
Just between us, you know what's better than mopping? Anything. Ugh. Well, I switched to Swiffer WetJet, and it's awesome. It's an all-in-one that absorbs dirt and grime deep inside.
And it helps prevent streaks and haze. WetJet is so worth it. Love it or your money back.
I know, Mom. I wish I could come home too.
I wanna be home for the holidays, because home is only home when I'm with you. I wanna be home for the holidays, home to you.
Caswell's Grocery Liquidation, where you shop first. Shop local. Great savings and selection. It's worth the trip. You won't be disappointed.
Your dollar goes a long, 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 long way at Caswell.
Welcome to Bennett's Gems and Jewelry in Belfast. With beautifully crafted gemstone jewelry you'll be proud to own or give as a gift. See why our longtime customers call Bennett's their favorite gift store, with an irresistible selection of genuine Maine tourmaline. Fine jewelry and gemstone giftware. Bennett's Gems also pays cash for your old gold and silver. Open till 6 every day, even Sunday. Bennett's Gems and Jewelry is on Route 1 in Belfast, next to Perry's Nut House. Look for our famous pink dinosaur and prepare to be delighted.
Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah from ABC 7.
Maine lawmakers are considering a privacy law to give you the option to stop your personal information from being tracked, collected, and sold. As Brad Rogers found out, private information is constantly being collected from your computers and cell phones.
Right now, every website you visit is being tracked.
There are trackers on all of those websites,
sending information back to Facebook, Google, about everything we do online.
Trackers even go so far as to listen in on your private conversations.
Their phone and their devices are capturing their words and selling it basically for advertising without their permission.
Lawmakers say data brokers then create a file on you and sell that information. They say the only way to stop it is for Maine to do what a dozen other states have already done, pass a privacy law.
This would largely prohibit that practice, because if companies can't use that for targeted advertising, there's less of a motivation to collect that information.
It's very complex.
State Senator Lisa Keim is sponsoring one privacy bill which would not only give Mainers the option of stopping the collection of their data, but the option to view and erase what's already been collected.
If you want to have a right to delete your information, if you don't know where it's been shared with, then there's no way to do that. So I've also added that into the bill.
State Representative Maggie O'Neill is sponsoring another bill which would only allow the collection and transfer of data that is, quote, reasonably necessary and proportionate.
Mainers deserve these kinds of protections no matter what kind of company they're interacting with. My hope is that it will protect as much of our personal information as possible so that we get consistent protections no matter what we're doing online.
And not be allowed to sell that information either.
Definitely not, yeah, because that would violate our expectations as consumers.
A group of Mainers is trying to get former President Donald Trump removed from the 2024 Maine Republican primary ballot. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard spoke with two individuals to learn more.
Trump's a traitor, and we shouldn't allow a traitor to run for president of the United States.
Ethan Strimley and Tom Saviello are two former Maine lawmakers that filed a challenge with Secretary of State Shenna Bellows regarding former President Donald Trump's access to the 2024 presidential primary. They're claiming that Trump is disqualified to run for political office due to the 14th Amendment, which states no person can hold public office that is engaged in an insurrection.
And I looked at January 6th and watched that unfold on TV, as many of us did. And anybody who says it's not an insurrection really didn't watch. Hundreds of people were hurt. People died because of that. And Trump was egging them on.
Strimling, a Democrat, and Saviello, a Republican turned independent, both say this is not a partisan issue, but one that is purely about qualifications for office.
Whether somebody commits treason against their country, whether somebody incites an insurrection, and hopefully all of us can agree that whether this person was a progressive, whether they were a centrist, or whether they're an alt-right white supremacist, they ought to not be allowed to run for president of the United States.
I'm waiting. I'm sure I'm going to be criticized by some of the Republicans that are out there, but the ones I know who will tell me that they're quietly glad I did this. I mean, a lot of people don't want Trump. A lot of Republicans don't want Trump.
Their challenge is similar to other challenges being placed in 36 other states and will be heard by Secretary Bellows in a hearing scheduled for Friday morning at 10 a.m. If Secretary Bellows rules in their favor, Trump's name would not appear on the primary ballot in March 2024.
Our hope is that she will stand on the shoulders of Mainers like James Blaine and Joshua Chamberlain and these heroes who helped to draft this amendment, helped to support this amendment back in the mid-1800s. Nobody should be allowed on that ballot who is clearly disqualified for that seat. And Donald Trump is one of those individuals.
We reached out to the Trump campaign and did not immediately receive a response. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
After the break, should a president be immune from prosecution for crimes committed while in office? It's a question that's being asked. We'll be right back.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street, or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
Dr. Jeff from Bangor Family Chiropractic would like to wish everyone happy holidays. Happy holidays from Maine Collision Center. For all of your collision repair, we help straighten out your life. Happy holidays from First National Bank, Maine's local bank leader.
Instantly? DraftKings, you spoiling me now. Getting paid in the blink of an eye. NBA legend Allen Iverson hit us with a sports metaphor.
This instant offer is kind of like my crossover. Just place your bet, and it's money.
Oh, he did.
Score 2 great NBA offers. Bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Plus, no sweat same-game parlays every day. The crown is yours.
It's being called an extraordinary request. The special counsel investigating former president's role in the January 6th attack is now asking the Supreme Court to decide whether Trump has immunity. We'll have more coming up.
This morning, special counsel Jack Smith is asking the Supreme Court to quickly rule on former President Trump's claim that he has immunity from prosecution of anything he did while in office, particularly his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. A lower court already rejected Trump's claim of absolute immunity, but Trump appealed. And the appeal process could delay the trial past the 2024 election. In response, Smith is now turning to the Supreme Court in a rare move, bypassing the appeals court.
Such a request for quick consideration and quick ruling on such a major issue is highly unusual, but it is not without precedent. Back during the Watergate era, of course, the court ruled in a very much expedited manner that President Nixon could not use executive privilege to keep Congress from getting access to his Oval Office tapes.
In a separate filing, Smith's office says at the trial it plans to call 3 experts who reviewed data from Trump's phone, data that includes periods of time when Trump's Twitter app was open during the January 6th attack, suggesting Smith's team will try to show Trump's role in communicating with the rioters. The Trump campaign accuses Smith of trying to interfere in the 2024 election. Trump is the clear front-runner for the Republican nomination, and new polls show him leading President Biden in a hypothetical matchup in 2 key battlegrounds. The CNN poll in Michigan finds Trump holding a 10-point lead over Biden. And in Georgia, Trump holds a 5-point lead. Both states were won by Biden in 2020. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
One size fits all may seem like the easiest choice when using blood pressure cuffs, but research suggests it might not be the best choice. With more, here's Justin Finch.
Whether you take your blood pressure at home or at your doctor's office, it's important to have the right size cuff. A new study from the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine found that too large or too small of a cuff results in inaccurate blood pressure readings. If the cuff is too small, the blood pressure reading will come out higher than it actually is. If it is too big, the blood pressure might appear lower. That could mean someone doesn't get proper treatment. Doctors know cuff size is an issue, and guidelines recommend the use of a fitted cuff. Yet a lack of time or resources mean clinicians sometimes miss these guidelines. So it's important to speak up if something feels wrong. Ask your doctor about choosing the right size the next time you go for your physical. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
My father started a roofing company in the 1970s.
Back when asbestos was still commonly used in Maine.
When George was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew there wasn't a cure yet, but we knew he needed help.
We called Joe Bornstein's office because this family means business.
Their team is handling everything, representing Mainers who were victims of asbestos exposure.
We highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
We used to struggle with greasy messes. Now, we just freak, wipe, and we're done.
With Mr. Clean Clean Freak, conquering messes is that easy. Clean Freak's mist is 3 times more powerful, and it works on contact. Clean Freak, just freak, wipe, done.
Great Scott! This is Green Bear 420 in 2010. What kind of trip is this? I gotta get back to 2023. Wait, it's 2015. So much has changed. In 2023, we had a lot more glass, t-shirts, and novelties. It's gonna take a bolt of lightning to get me home. Finally, home at last. Now Green Bear 420, Green Bear Green Care is bigger and better than ever. To be continued.
Do you want to improve or upgrade your home? Well, At Home Furniture, Appliance, and Bedding in Lincoln and Dover Foxcroft has got you covered. We pride ourselves in the relationships we build with every customer, from commercial businesses to homeowners. We have some of the best prices on the best brands of appliances, furniture, and mattresses, and we even offer full kitchen and bath remodels with a designer and installers on staff. So stop in today and check us out at one of our locations and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Today's full weather forecast is brought to you by Healing Hands Massage in Hamden, providing professional massage services tailored specifically for their clients. Stop by Healing Hands Massage today. You'll thank yourself later. All right, here's what we're looking at here. A small cloud advisory remains posted until 7 p.m. on Wednesday because of gusty winds along the coast, especially as we head towards tomorrow. So make sure you're ready for that as it moves through. But otherwise, though, wave heights are at around 4 to 8 feet according to the buoys out there. Now, it's definitely even more active further out towards sea, where some buoys are reporting even up to 13 feet. So definitely looking pretty active there as we move towards this afternoon. But otherwise, though, looking pretty good on land as some clouds developing, and really that's about it. So it'll be a pretty decent day on land to help recover from any of the precipitation and wind that we had yesterday. But there is another system developing, though, and despite that system, there's not a whole lot on the way anytime soon, as we'll be looking pretty good as we'll have a lot of dry days on the way. But futurecast moving forward, though, again, a lot of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds. We are going to be watching for a few more clouds on the way later on tonight, though. We'll hold on to those as we head towards the daytime tomorrow as well. And then even by Wednesday, some sunshine and clouds mixed in. But then by Wednesday night and the parts of Thursday, here we go, there's some clouds on the way, and really that'll be about it. And a lot of it clears out of here as we head towards Thursday morning. But otherwise, though, some gusty winds from time to time today, up to around 15, even 20 miles per hour at times. They'll pick up a little bit more later on tonight, and really some gusty winds tomorrow, reaching up to around 30 to 35 miles per hour in a few spots. But most of us will stop short at around 30 miles per hour or so for those gusts. As our average high temperature is now 36 degrees, middle to upper 30s on the way today and tomorrow. And then here we go, upper 20s for a Thursday. We're back in the 40s Friday and a Saturday. That'll feel nice. Then upper 30s Sunday, then back in the low 40s again as we head towards your Monday. Your forecast looks a little bit like this. We have middle 30s and a lot of sunshine out there, with that west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, upper 20s, partly cloudy, with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Again, both today and tonight, some gusty winds up to 15 to 20 miles per hour cannot be ruled out. We have upper 30s for the daytime tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy, with that west wind gusting up to around 30 miles per hour at times. Alrighty, your massage forecast, though, brought to you by Healing Hands Massage, I should say, showing a partly cloudy sky on Thursday with highs in the upper 20s, then lower 40s Friday with a partly cloudy sky, then mostly cloudy Saturday, highs in the low 40s.
Thank you, Devin. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.